My name's Juanita Nyango Hongo. I'm the director or coordinator of Awuoth Widows and Orphan community-based organization. The reason why we started African Leafy Vegetables, one, we have a lot of land that is idle, and because African leaf vegetables are medicinal, these vegetables are having a lot of nutrients and minerals that the body required. So we decided to do this, and I think it has helped the farmers. And we work with 500 farmers, 100 are purely youths in and out of school, that through farming of vegetables, they have been able even to pay their accommodation in university. We have 7 in university that are paying their accommodation and even buying books from the vegetable farming. And our women are able to sell because now we have an aggregation where they bring their vegetables and we weigh and pay them.
Farmer Atieno has brought fresh vegetables, that is the copy. I do the weighing so that I'm able to capture how many, the quantity she has brought. So after the weighing, the quantity is showing 1 kg. The market price today for 1 kg is 30 shillings. The total to be paid to Farmer Atieno is 21 shillings.
So that is what we are doing, and the surplus, we are doing value addition. And value addition, we are able to produce more and more.
So after weighing, I bring it here for cooling purposes. So this is the charcoal cooler that acts as our refrigerator. So when there's this driplets of water, it goes to the charcoal, and then the charcoal generates the air, the atmosphere that is very, very cold as the refrigerator. So it maintains the culture of the vegetables from 0 day to 3 days when wholesalers come and purchase from the chamber here. They know the specific day that we bring our vegetables, so they just come. If it is Tuesdays and Thursdays, they just come and do the purchasing. After that, depending on the order, we now remove it and do the assortment in the bench and do the blanching, aeration, and the drying. I've done the assortment, so I'm putting my vegetables into this sufuria container. I put it in the container so that I take it to the running water to do the washing. We are using that running water so that any particle or soil remains inside the sufuria. After done doing this, I take it back to the working bench. I put it to my working bench, and then I cut it into proportions. The proportions should be the same. Meanwhile, as I am cutting, my fire is set with the amount of water that is I'm going to use. I've done the cutting. I put it here, and then I take it to my sufuria where I'm going to do the blanching. Already I've put water here, so I add salt as a preservative, purely salt for preservative. So I'll be adding my salt depending on the quantity of vegetables that I have. Yes, so I've added 2 tablespoons of salt to act as a preservative. After putting my salt, I bring my vegetables from the working bench. I put it into this water over here. Then I cover it. After covering it, I'll wait for around some few seconds, and then I turn it over for all of them to blanch equally. We turn it evenly like this to avoid losing the nutrients. Whatever we are doing so that our nutrients are preserved inside it. So we turn it like this. So you can just check. The downer one has already blanched. You can see from the texture. So I cover it for around some few seconds, and then I remove it. So I'm doing the sievering, and then I return it back to my bench. So from my blanching, I bring my vegetable back to my working bench and do the aeration. Doing the aeration means the excess water and air remains here, so that when I take it to my dryer, there's no water, there's no hot air inside there. So I bring it here and do the aeration. So this one, I'm doing aeration on my vegetables, so that the moment I take it to the dryer, it doesn't have water. So I make sure each leaves its own run, it's on its run, so that the aeration takes place evenly. After this aeration, my vegetable is now ready to be taken to the dryer.
So this is the solar dryer, and this is the room where we have the gadgets. You can see we have a sensor, and we have an alternative, especially during flood season. The sunlight is not there. So we have an alternative, the jiko, that is the stove, that we use the briquettes, and it has a fume chamber from outside. You'll see it the other side. So as it burns the fume chamber, it reflects, the air comes, and this air with the sensor, it brings moisture and heat to heat our vegetable. So that is the time that the sunshine is not very strong.
This is strictly no-go zone for any other person apart from the person entering here to do the drying. So I'll remove my shoes. I'll remove my shoes so that we maintain the hygiene. So this is my drying zone. Before I put my vegetable, I will have sanitized the surface. I've set it. It's now clean and hygienically good for these vegetables to dry. So I'll start spreading the vegetable on the bench. We put it evenly so that each leaf dries on its own, to avoid moisture being inside the vegetables after drying. So you just put it. After 30 minutes, I'll come back to my dryer and do the turning of the vegetable, so that depending on the vegetable dries well, it will take around 2 to 3 hours for this vegetable to dry. Just like this, it's already dried. This is now ready to be removed from here because it has already dried. So 2 to 3 hours, the vegetables will be like this one, ready to go to the market. And it can stay here between 0 days to 3 months, when it's good for human consumption. Yes. So this is the end result of that. Yeah. This is the end result of this.
There's a friend in the diaspora, one of the locals, and we are going to send this through post office so that it reaches there, and the Africans in the Rochester city of New York will enjoy it. They said if they find it is palatable and is good, they'll be giving us an order. We are in the process of inviting KEBS so that it is done certification. We want the mark. and we have approached them. Very soon we are going to engage them so that they come advise us on the right package. Otherwise we are just using the local Ziploc bags and the food grain package that we get from our supermarket, and we write the instructions on those packages so that as you buy, you get it, you know what to do. When you go to the market, the supermarket, the Kibuye market, where we take our products, we have buyers of takers that we send our product to. You'll get our vegetables. The vendors within Yamasaria along the roadside, as you drive from Kisumu going to Ahero, the women seated there from 3 p.m. they have taken vegetable from us. And as mentioned, we really want to ensure that our produce can be reached within the malls or the supermarkets. So once we'll be certified by the Kenyan government and we have a logo, a marking on our produce, especially the dry vegetables, then it will be found available. Even regionally, we want to work also with other regions like our neighbors, Vihiga, Kakamega, Kisii, Kericho. So my vegetable is ready after 2.5 hours for the cowpea. We use Ziploc bags from the supermarket, and it has a lock. So we are going to pack it inside, and after that we weigh. So I just use my bare hands. We fear using gloves because we don't know what is in those gloves, but we ensure we wash our hands thoroughly with soap and water. So we had weighed this, half of it will be around 10 grams. We ensure that there's no air as we lock it. We ensure there's no air and it is spread evenly. And from the edges, it has a stopper. You can see it is properly packed. And then I go to the labeling so that you know what type of vegetable we have packed. And this is cowpea. I write both in English and in our local language. So once we have packed it, it's ready. And after soaking for 2 to 5 minutes, you cut your onions, your tomatoes, and whatever you want to use, any ingredients that you want to use. Then you fry, cook it, and at the end of it, it will be as green as the one I'm holding here, that is just fresh from the garden. We really enjoy some of the achievements that we have noted. One of them, last year, I was sponsored to go to Mombasa on a conference that involved so many partners, the global partners, and even I gave a presentation on African leafy vegetable. That was very, very, very good. We were given a lot of publicity coverage from the presidential press unit that came last year in July and did a wide coverage from the farm, the processing, marketing, and everything, and we were so much good, happy, and we were covered in the news, and the whole world and the whole Kenya had. So those are some of the good achievements, and the best and good achievement is the women have money in their pocket and food on the table and expanded their acreage. We also train our farmers in farm training and any group that really needs our support, because Awuoth Widows, we have trained 25 TOTs as lead farmers and trained by the KALRO, by the county government, Ministry of Agriculture, and we are able to train them on modern agricultural technology and also on the use of irrigation, and we are using regenerative agriculture. During production, planting of African leafy vegetables, we plant varieties of this plant alongside the vegetables because it helps in repelling the insects that interferes with the vegetation. Apart from this, we also plant onions because of that smell. It repels the insects that interferes with our production. So quite a number, and it is also very, very good for tea. African tea, it has a very good scent and so sweet, and we say it is medicinal in a way also. Many homes you'll get it, quite a number of them planted. One of the challenges, we have a cooler. You remember it is a charcoal cooler, as you saw. We'd really require to get a cooler that uses a big solar or electricity, so that we are able to access even storage to some of our farmers that have their produce and there's nowhere to put them, so that they can use this our cooling unit. So we need expansion of the cooling unit. Also the solar dryer, if we need an expansion, so that we have many tables that we can put our produce. Marketing is a big challenge because the markets are there as much as we have few markets, but we really need somebody somewhere to help us reach those even international markets, bigger markets. Even sometimes our produce are too much that sometimes we don't have anywhere to take them. We are working towards eradication of poverty. We want everybody to have food. We want to eliminate poverty, and we want people to be healthy so that we have good livelihood. So the advice that I would want to give to those people or interested partners that want to join the value chain, it is quite interesting. It requires hard work, passion, and dedication.